When I first made the request to have my fire system monitored by the fire brigade, I thought it was kind of a long shot. But apparently with the correct paperwork and credentials, anything's possible really. So I managed to get a residential property monitored by a commercial service. Unfortunately, residential properties are very well known for false alarms, and tonight we're just going to be going over some of the changes I'm going to make to try prevent any sort of false alarm. A little bit about the transmitter unit itself. It is manufactured by Johnson Controls. The PCB is branded as Tyco, but it is now an amalgamated company. You can see the date code on this transmitter box is 2015, and I think they amalgamated after that. So it is manufactured by Johnson Controls. Many of you in America already know that. There are two main commercial fire alarm monitoring companies in New Zealand, ADT and AFM, but don't quote me on that because I'm not too sure. I'll give you a little look inside the unit. My only concern is it does have a door switch, so they do know every time I open it. But I'm sure a small peek won't hurt. I'm not sure what kind of signal it sends through, most likely a tamper. I haven't had them call yet. I opened it up tonight. It was originally mounted at the top of the windowsill, but I'm thinking I'm going to be sticking blinds in, so I didn't want it mounted so close to the top of the windowsill. Okay, we'll open it up, and hopefully this is the final take, because there's been a few, and you can see the door switch right there. Okay, so the board is there. You can see an RS-232 port. Somehow I think they might have the programming on lockdown, since it is a Tyco branded and ADT branded. They're kind of working together on this. So I think they've got the software for programming on lockdown. But yeah, so you've got the SGD input there. It's where my SGD goes in. This is an LTX2, which supports 2 transmitters. I've only got one. And you've just got your AC in on that side and battery connection. You can see there's 2 GSM radios here, but I'm in a very well covered zone, so I only need 1 radio. If there was 2 radios, there would be 2 aerials popping out the top here. Okay, now to the actual panel. This is where it interfaces. You've seen this in previous videos. This is the SGD card, except this time it is actually powered up. So you can see it's on normal, and every time it polls there, it's sending like a confirmation signal. Now that it's monitored, I'm trying to treat it as much as a commercial system as I can. New Zealand code specifies that it should only be tested on the same day every month, and that is what I've been doing for 3 months in a row. I've been testing it on the 26th, and going forward with this channel, that is the day I will be posting update videos. So I'll show you the test book that I fill out every month. This is very similar to what I do at work, pretty much identical. So you can see, try not to give too many personal details away here, but I've been testing it on the 26th every month. What I test for is number of zones tested. During my day job, I normally just test 1 zone a month, and on the annual inspection, which is once a year, we test all the zones. But since it's a home system, I like to test all the zones just to make sure they're working. I also make sure the batteries are clean, no corrosion, make sure the charger is providing the correct voltage. There's a load test that is only annual here in New Zealand, just to make sure that the batteries have enough capacity. Indicator lamps, so making sure all the LEDs are working correctly. Shutters, circuits and modules. In this house I have 2 access control doors. This door here, which you're very familiar with, and my brother's sleep out. And just making sure the fire was signalled. You've filled out the PFA number, which is like the fire brigade identification number, and making sure you had the correct test equipment and left the system in working order. Okay. A few false alarm areas in my house that I can see that are prone to false alarms. There's obviously the one I made the video about a few weeks ago, which is the smoke alarm right outside the shower. I've actually just caught someone in the nick of about to set it off. They'd left the door open again for the second time, so that's definitely a high risk area. and the dryer definitely has the possibility of setting that alarm off as well. So I'm going to have to change it for heat detector, but it has to be analog addressable, which means I'll have to purchase a few more bits to upgrade that whole zone at once. Because unfortunately it's conventional, I can't just upgrade one detector at a time, it has to be the whole zone that's upgraded. Okay, so we probably can do a silent test. Unfortunately this system does go through my work account, so it will be sending a text to everyone at my work that it's going to be put on isolate, but I'm sure that's going to be fine. What is the time? 9:15. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, now a text is going to come through. Hopefully it doesn't stop the recording. But that's isolated now, so that means it's safe to test. Normally every month I would use this switch here. That's the test switch. The text hasn't come through yet, so that's... Oh no, there we go. It has just come through. Isolate, Motley residence, and then it's got all the time and details. Okay, we'll silence alarms. So I can still test the system whenever I want, technically, but it's still sending a notification whenever I isolate the system. And if I ever forget to isolate that, I'm in for a bit of a treat, because it's going to call the fire brigade. And that's not great. So hopefully I always remember to isolate that, which I should do because I do this for a job, so I tend to remember these sort of things. Always double check. I always go back to the panel and just make sure it's definitely isolated. Yep. Definitely silenced. And now we can set off the alarm. Okay. So you can see I've got a fire in my sleep out. Now we can reset that. And the monitoring company is now ignoring all signals. The good thing about commercial fire, unlike just security systems, is you can just flick that switch, you don't have to call them, and you can test it just like that. I find that quite cool. I'm going to leave this isolated now because I've got some work I want to do to the panel. I don't want to have to be sending unnecessary text through to everyone, because a lot of people are asleep and that's probably going to annoy them a lot. But anyway, have to make these videos, so there you go. We've got silence alarms active. Can take that off now. And you know what, I might actually just do the programming tomorrow. It's getting a bit late now, so we'll take off the isolate, just double check everything is normal. Cool point's not going to go off. Okay, normal, and then I'll get another text saying that it's been taken off. Hopefully people aren't going to get too annoyed with that. And close. Okay, so just quickly going over a few more things that I need to do in order to make it less prone to false alarms. One of the things I've already done, which is day mode and night mode. So during the day, I've got all the smoke alarms near the kitchen area set to a very low sensitivity. So they're not very sensitive during the day. At night, they shoot back up to full sensitivity because no one will be cooking, and that's just one of the measures I've taken. Another one is obviously replacing that smoke alarm in the lower bathroom with a heat, and the heat detectors in that conventional zone are non-encapsulated, which means they can get water inside them and create a lot of problems, so they'll all have to be replaced. And same with the analog addressable heat detector in the upper bathroom. Another cool thing worth mentioning with this newer firmware I have on the panel, I've just updated it, is when you go into status, you can actually see the exact temperature of heat detectors. So if we go to device and shoot up to, you can see the kitchen is 14 degrees Celsius. Not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, sorry. And upper bathroom is a lot colder. It's only 5 degrees, so it's very cold up there. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, that's going to sum up this video. So the 26th every month is going to be my new date for making videos, so stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you and see you later.